Hi creators, I'm Fem and this is my first knitting crochet yarn podcast, so welcome. I poured myself a hot cup of tea. It is very hot still, so it's a little bit hard to hold. But I would say grab yourself something to drink, maybe something to knit, because I have quite some things to talk about. Maybe fun thing, this mug. I don't think I'm always right. I actually got this from a brother of a ex-boyfriend while I was still dating them years ago. So I think the brother wanted to make a point, I guess. So I'm gonna put it down for a second because this is like as big as my head. It's quite heavy and a bit hot still. So yeah, as I said, it's my first knitting podcast. And on this channel itself, you actually can find things about knitting, crochet, and mental health. That is something that I find very important. Therefore also the mindful creators. So just know what you can expect here. I'm gonna dive right in. I'm gonna keep a little bit of a traditional knitting podcast setup, but not completely. So I have some notes here because my mind is always like a very full thing and I cannot always remember everything I wanted to say. So I have some notes here, so if you see me looking down, you know why. But first, I'm gonna start with a finished object. So I did a test knit for oopsnloops. It is the knittedtee, and it actually released, okay, when you are seeing this video, so for you it's 2 days ago. It released Wednesday. For me that's yesterday, yeah. And this is it. It is this super bright red t-shirt. Yeah, t-shirt style. I knitted it with Rico Organic Essentials cotton. I always have a hard time with the word cotton. I don't know why. Yeah, it is very drapey, as you can see, so that's really nice. To be honest, I would do it with a different kind of yarn next time if I would make this pattern again, because I don't know if you can see it on the video. I'm gonna put some pictures here. You can see that it's a little bit see-through. I had a bit of a hard time getting gauge. It was a gauge of 16 by 17 stitches in a 10 centimeter square. And this yarn is DK, so that was really difficult for me. Yeah, it's, to be honest, a little bit too white for my taste. So if I would do it again, a different kind of yarn, and maybe make it a bit more some decreases or something down the side. But what I really love about this pattern is the shoulder detail. I don't know if this is, it's very bright. I don't know if you can see it very well, but you can see it is a very, very fun shoulder detail. It flares out like this, and it has it on both sides, of course. The neckline is also really pretty. It sits up quite straight. So yeah, I'm so happy that I have it done. It took me quite some time because I made a lot of mistakes. I am notorious for being a bad reader in patterns. So I think, okay, I've knitted it until before I was dividing for the sleeves, and I made some mistakes, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start all over again. So I already started over once and I ripped back so many times. So I think I knitted 3 of these, but I only have 1 to show you. So you know how long it took me. I just made some stupid mistakes that were my fault. So, but I have it done now, so I'm really happy. It's not really the weather to wear it right now. It's I'm in the Netherlands and it's getting colder here. Yesterday morning it actually was 3 degrees Celsius in the morning. I have no idea how much it is in Fahrenheit. I can look it up. 3 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. 37 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was chilly, to say the least. So I'm mostly wearing like sweaters or layering with other things. So I haven't found a way to layer this yet. I don't really have anything in my closet that fits it that well, but maybe I'll find a way, and otherwise it's just a good spring staple. I will make it longer probably because I'm quite tall. I'm 175 centimeters, so 5'9". It's a little bit too short for me. So I will make it a little bit taller, longer, and maybe a little bit cinched in. I like that look a little better. So yeah, my first, oh, this is actually quite a first for me because I haven't been knitting that long. I've been crocheting since last December, and I've been knitting since, so not even a year. I've been knitting since, I think June or something. And I did this quite early on. So I was knitting for I think a month or 1 month and a half when this test knit came on, and I was like, yes, I want to do it. I actually talked about it in a video, so this is quite cool to see it now. I didn't know I was going to be test knitting right at that moment, so we have it here. It's done, it is blocked and everything, and it's ready for the warmer weather. So that's really fun. I have some news actually. Okay, I have some fun things to share with you. I'm gonna put that in between, and we are going to go towards my whips after. I am actually, I'm really a fan of the community that is going on here in the knitting and crochet community, or like, yeah, the community, to say it like that. And I really want to start something myself too. Since I find mental health very important, I want to start something that is also really open towards mental health and everything. So I actually opened a Facebook group, a private Facebook group. You can find the link below. And it's open for sign up, so that is really cool. So I have a Facebook group, the Mindful Creators, that's what it's called. It's called, but you can find it below, as I just said. And everyone is welcome. If you're a beginner, if you are not even knitting or crocheting at all, it's okay. But if you're interested, of course, because it will be talked about, of course. Mental health will be discussed. We'll just have some fun chatting times with each other. Yeah, I'm really excited, actually. I really hope you find it fun too. So if you're interested, click the link below. You can sign up for the group. I have a few questions for you, and I will, okay, I'm in Europe, of course, so sometimes when you're maybe awake or everything, I will be asleep. So it will take some time so I can accept you for the group. Those questions are just for fun and to get to know you a little bit better. So it's not like that I'm going to like deny people. That is not the thing. So just, or if you're going to like answer very stupid questions, of course. But, like not stupid, but like I want to have a safe space there. I think you get what I mean. So yeah. I'm gonna take a sip of tea because I'm talking very fast already. When I'm enthusiastic about something, I'm gonna talk fast. So just so you know, I try to be aware of it. I almost am out of breath even. So yeah. But yeah, the Facebook group is live and you can sign up right now. It's just for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, I would really want to know also who you are if you come into the group. I have a welcome text and everything, so you can see it there too. But just let me know who you are when you're in the group and share something if you want, of course. Yeah, I really want to create another safe space for people that want to come together, make some new friends, talk about knitting and crochet and about their mental health maybe. Just know that it's a place where you can ask for help or just ask for some advice or just share if you want to. That's something I want to create. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I'm happy that I'm opening it up already. So I hope you are too. Let's go on to what I'm working on at the moment. So my whips. I have two things on my needles, or even, yeah, I have some, you know, look like those things you're working on but you're not really working on, you know, just something very random. I have something laying around, but that's not something I'm working at the moment. So I have two things. I'm gonna grab, I have like a box down here. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna be casting on more, so I will tell you also about it in the video, but a little bit later on. The two things that I'm working on is one for myself and one is a gift knit. Mom, if you're watching, you can still watch this part. I'm not that far yet, so that's okay. But after this one, you're not allowed to watch anymore, but I will tell you. I already discussed this with her, to be honest. Okay, I am working on a sock actually. So these are, I hope it's in focus. Yes, these are the Love Heart socks by Fromdevonwithloveuk. As you can see, I am already, all these, like it's full of loose ends in here. I don't know if you can see, but I already finished the cuff, I finished the leg, I finished the heel, and this is not called the heel turn, is it? Or is it? I don't know. I'm just decreasing at the moment, so I'm back at my original stitch count. And then I'm working on the foot and the toe eventually. So these are so fun. I am making these with Drops Nord. These are 2 of the skeins. I already red, of course, but red is more an accent color. This is Drops Nord. It is made with the colors Jeans Blue, White, and red. But I don't have it laying here next to me. I'm really loving this, to be honest. I am working on DPNs for the first time ever. If you want, I can make a video about my first experience, maybe some tips that I already discovered. Honestly, I'm getting less letters than I would with the magic loop method. I just wanted to try this. I'm also really hoping to try the tiny circular soon. I'm also really interested in it. I do get some parts of lettering, but honestly it's not too bad actually. This is looking really nice. I don't know if you can see, it's not really focusing. It's focusing my head. So did you hear the cracks? The cracks? That was my back. But it's not too bad actually. It's looking quite nice. This is actually my first ever colorwork project, so it's not that big of a colorwork, of course, but the hearts, it is done in 2-stranded colorwork. Okay, show you the inside with the floats. As I said, there are a lot of ends in the inside, so it looks a bit crazy, but these are the floats at the moment. First time colorwork. I had to redo it once. That is because I made it a little bit too tight. I'm not that much of a I'm not that tight of a knitter, to be honest. I think I knit quite loosely. But I still had some bunching. I still have a little bit of bunching, but nothing that I can't fix while blocking, to be honest. It is quite an easy, focus on here please also. Gonna put it like this. Quite an easy color work. It is very good for beginners, I think. Yeah, and I said I redid it. I made it even looser, so I gave it more yarn in between. You can see it here. It's looking quite nice, but you can see some bunching, for example here. So I made the how do you say it again, the float a little bit too short there. So that's something to learn. Yeah, I'm so excited about these. I think they are so fun. I really love the colors together. I found Fromdevonwithloveuk, that's her pattern. I found her on Instagram a few weeks ago. I've already talked about this in my last video. I did an unboxing. I'm gonna link it again somewhere in this video. Yeah, I'm really loving it. It's so soft also. I don't know if you've ever worked with Drops Nord. It is a mix of alpaca, wool, and something like nylon, or polyamide, something in that range for socks, of course. They are really nice and soft, and also quite stretchy. So I can't wait to have this finished. And how fast I'm working on it, it's going quite fast, because I think I received my yarn last Thursday. Something like that, and I think I start working on it Friday maybe, if I'm correct. I haven't been knitting like tons, so I'm quite happy with my progress. Can't wait to see how far I'm in like a week or two, because I think I'm gonna do these podcasts once every 2 weeks, maybe every week eventually, but I think just once every 2 weeks, so I have like 2 weeks to work on things and have a little bit more progress to show you, something different kind of things that I'm working on maybe. So these. Then my second project I'm working on is, as you maybe already heard a little bit, it's a gift knit. So it is a gift knit for my mother. I have it jumbled up here, so I have to untangle it a little bit. Sometimes I like to wrap a little bit of excess yarn around it, so that that it's a little bit more tight. I don't really use project bags. I don't have any project bags, that's maybe the better way to say it. I would like to. There's a brand, I don't know the name of it, but maybe you know what I mean. They have some really fun sayings like knitting puns on their project bags. They started to follow me, I think, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I thought it was so fun. But I think they're in America, and shipping overseas can be quite expensive. So, but I thought they were really fun. So I am working on the Cumulus blouse by Petiteknit. You all know this one, I think. Petiteknit is so popular, of course, and very well known. Just a sip of tea. Yeah, I really wanted to knit something for my mother, and she was like, oh, I would love to make me something, please. And I was like, okay, I would like to make a sweater for you for Christmas. And we have been looking for patterns. She's quite active, so she gets quite hot very easily. She is a horse rider, she works out, she works in the hospital. She doesn't wear those things in the hospital, of course, but when she gets out, she's just very active. She doesn't want something that is very like upper neck or everything, because she gets hot way too fast. So mohair is also not a good thing for her. Since the Cumulus blouse is a v-neck, I thought this would be better, and she was like, yep, I think that's great. It's quite lightweight, and I'm making it in this rust color. This is my gauge watch, actually. This is brushed alpaca silk in rust, and I'm holding it double. I saw that some other people made it with this yarn. Focus, please. Yes, just holding it double. Other people made it with this yarn, and some held it single, some held it double. So I was starting my gauge watch holding it single, but I didn't like the look of it. It was very see-through. I don't know if you can see this, but no, it doesn't look that see-through anymore. It fills it up a little bit better, and since she will be wearing it in winter, I think that will be nice, and just not having it see-through. I'm really loving this, to be honest. I've never worked with a burst alpaca silk. As I said, I'm quite a new knitter still, so I haven't tried many yarns, to be honest. And yeah, I think it's really nice, really soft. She cannot really handle any itchy fabric, so another reason why I didn't get mohair. But this is like not itchy at all, so I think she will love this. Yeah, and the fun thing is she also chose this color. She was like, oh, I would love a rust color. Burst alpaca silk has like 2 rust colors, I think, and this is the one that she chose. I cast it on yesterday evening, so I'm like maybe, what is it, not even an inch in, like a few centimeters. I already ripped it out once, because again, I can't read. So, oh my god, it's like I made that mistake already. But I'm happy that I did it now than that I did it like 20 rows in, because I was working on a sweater and I made a mistake, and oh, I already, yeah, it was really not something that I wanted to rip out, because I was already this part in. I was just annoyed with it, you know, so I want to read better. I was happy that I found it on time. So that's good. I am actually working on 4.5mm needles. I'm not sure what it is in the American size, to be honest. Don't know this on top of my head. This is, I think, the back part. It is working towards the v-neck. Or maybe it's the other way around, I think. Yeah, so the back part like this. And the v-neck will form, and eventually you will work in the round. And I'm really loving it. Thus far, I haven't worked much on it. As you can see, I cast it on late last night. But I will probably be working on it today also. So that is something for my mom. And yeah, as I said, this is the last time that you can see this, because I'm gonna make a lot of progress, I hope. And I don't want to, like, she already chose the pattern and the yarn. She saw the gauge watch. I showed it to her yesterday via FaceTime, or like the WhatsApp version of FaceTime. And she was really happy with it. So yeah, I'm also really happy with it. I think it's going to turn out quite lovely. I'm already 20 minutes in. I talk so much, I'm so sorry. I think this will be a long one. I hope you like it. I hope you like hearing me talk. I'm like, I'm on, talking is so difficult sometimes. I'm like on 2/3 of what I have planned on my list here. Oh, this tea is getting me quite warm. That's good, but also I'm a little bit warm. I had like a full cold nose when before I started filming. It was quite chilly to be honest. Okay, what do we have next? Next, I want to talk about what I will be casting on. This is also yarn that I talked about in my last video. And this will become... I'm just grabbing the yarns at the moment. Where do I have the other skein that I used? Oh, it doesn't really matter. That's not the one. This will become the Spotweater by Ventzel, or Anne Ventzel. So Ventzel. That sounded very Dutch for the Dutch people, you know. She has some amazing colorwork patterns, and I wanted to start another colorwork pattern. I know I've never done it before, so that sucks for the first one, but I'm ambitious, I know, and I wanted to make the base color with these two yarns. This is Drops Flora, if it focuses, Drops Flora and Drops Kid Silk. This is the color Fog, I think, and this is the color Chalk. And I wanted to use these two as a contrast. So I hope to have like a grayish green or a greenish gray, something like that. This is also Flora in light gray, Kid Silk in sage, but I swatched it and it didn't work out sadly. So there was not much contrast. It was too close to each other. As you can see, the gray and the fall color are a little bit too close, and I hope the green would make it more greenish, but I think I will really need to get a green Flora too. I didn't at first because I didn't really love the greens they had, but I'm gonna cave, I think, and buy some green ones. Maybe I drive to one of my local yarn shops if they still have it in stock. There's like a shop like 20 minutes away from me, and they still have the sale, of course, so for a few more days. Until the 15th. So yeah, I'm still gonna use this one. This combination is really, really pretty. It's like more like an oatmeal color it becomes. So I really like that. And then the green still together. However, this combination, I think it will be very beautiful for a hat or like a scarf or something, but I think for a hat. So I was almost, I really actually wanted to start a hat with it, but I was like, no, I need to get silk for the sweater, so I'm not gonna do that. But this one, do I have something else on here? Yeah, I think it's such a beautiful sweater. So that is on my plan still. I'm gonna make it, but I just need some different yarn. I'm gonna get that quite soon. Something else I will be working on is a pair of socks for my brother for Christmas also. I'm still early, so I probably won't cast that on quite soon. These are like the 4. I have another pair of socks for myself, 5 patterns that I will be working on like the next month or 2, I think. I'm not sure how fast I will be. I don't think it will be super fast because it's like 2 sweaters for a pair of socks. I will be making my own pattern. I have something put in Stitch Fiddle, and it is a picture of the Minions. So I already talked about it a little bit in my last video. As I said again, I'm gonna link it somewhere. Okay, I don't know which side it will pop up, but one of each sides. You can find the video to my unboxing of Drops yarns, and I'm also gonna show some of them in a little bit, but I'm not gonna talk about it very much because I've already talked about it, and you can find it there. So if you're interested, click on the link, you can see the video. Okay, my SD card stopped recording, my camera stopped recording. As I just said, watch that video for all the details about the yarns and a little bit more detail about the patterns that I'm working on, because I'm talking about my plans for the patterns. You already saw the socks, you already saw the Cumulus blouse, but I have some more things in there. A little bit more about the sweater, a little bit more about the socks also, just so you know. As I said, I will show my acquisitions. So these are my acquisitions. That is a lot. I think normally I just cut something out because you saw my address. Normally I won't have that many acquisitions, or even at all, I think, but I'm gonna show you very quickly. So I have Drops Flora for the sweater, more in gray, 5 of these. Then the kid silk for the sweater. I have a lot of drop snores. I will just go through them very quickly. Some navy blue, some jeans blue, that's the same as the socks I'm using. Some yellow for the minions, some white, quite a lot actually. This is grey, light grey or just grey. A lighter blue, a brown, and a black. As I said, watch the video. I will talk more about it. And then of course I have the brushed alpaca silk for the Cumulus blouse. I think I have too many. I think I only need 6 maybe, or 7, something like that. As I'm holding a double, so I probably will have some leftovers, but that's okay. Also for the socks I will have a lot of leftovers because I just want to build a little bit of a sock stash, just so I can make some colorwork socks. I can already make at least, of course, 3 socks of these skeins and probably many more, so that's fine. So those are my acquisitions. I blasted through it. Just so you know, I'll just put these back too, because otherwise I will make a mess right here. I'm very good in leaving yarn everywhere. My boyfriend is always like, or he doesn't really say it like that, but it's always like, okay, there's a lot of yarn. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna clean it up, I'm gonna put it away. And then it takes a little while for me to put it away most of the times, but that's okay. He loves me very much. He promotes my work. He is like the biggest support ever that I could wish for, so that's really fun. Next, I'm like the videos, these podcasts, I'll separate them a little bit in yarn, knitting, and crochet. I'm not really crocheting that much at the moment, but just yarn, knitting, crochet, and then more personal. So as I already mentioned, I really like talking about mental health. Very quickly gonna say, last December or end of last year actually was having burnout symptoms. I think I've talked about it before just a little bit, but I can go more in depth in another video if you're interested. And I started crocheting actually. That is the reason why I started. And I started knitting a little bit after, as you already know. However, I am still dealing with some of the symptoms. Something that is really something that I'm working on at the moment is just finding a new way of working. So at the moment I'm doing a minor, I'm still studying. I study creative business. I'm quite a late studier, as I can say to myself. I'm not 25, I will be 26, but I'm finally done. I did some other things before. But back to the point, I do my minor and I have my own project there. So I'm like fully in charge of what I'm doing, how I'm planning it, how I'm working. I can like totally make that up for myself. So for today I'm filming YouTube videos. But for me it's still a little bit difficult to find out what works for me for working. So if this is something you also struggle with, for example, now I haven't been able to work like 8-hour days for 5 days a week for a little while, and I always have the tendency to like push myself and try to do that again. So going from 0 to like 40-hour work week is quite a lot, and I just try to realize that it is something that might not work for me. So this week I actually have been trying to maybe work only a morning. So at the morning I agree with myself and like, okay, I work the morning, and the afternoon I can be free. I don't have to do anything. If I want to work longer, that's okay, but I don't have to. That is something that is really working for me. I also tried it the other way around, so only working the afternoon. So I think a few days ago I was doing a little bit of knitting in the morning, like half hour of knitting or an hour of knitting. I was just early, up at 8, and I was like, okay, gonna do some knitting before I start working. And a little while and I was like, I don't really want to stop, you know? So I was like, okay, it's okay. I'm just gonna work on this for now, and at the moment that I feel good enough to start again or feel ready to start, I can do those things. Disclaimer, by the way, I know that this is not something that everyone is able to do. I'm very privileged at the moment that I have this opportunity to do this minor, to do my own project. I'm also not having a job at the moment for the first time since like I was 14 or something, because I'm having my full attention to this minor at the moment. I'm starting my business, so I know this is not something that everyone is able to do. I absolutely realize that, but you can maybe use this way of working for when you want to do some things in the weekend, for example. It doesn't always have to be work, but maybe things in the house. So for example, agree with yourself on that you want to work like a few hours in the morning to clean up your house or something, or do some homework if you're still studying too, and then in the afternoon you can do other things. Why that works for me is because I was trying to do like the 8-hour work days, but I realized I wasn't productive all those 8 hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours of them. So now I'm trying to make my work hours maybe a little bit more smaller until I may be able to do a bit more, and then I will try to just give myself some free time, or just some freedom in that part of working. So that is something that I've been working on this last week, if you're interested. What I want to do in this podcast is give you a simple exercise for yourself. I know everyone is struggling with different things, so maybe the thing that I'm asking or proposing you to do is not something that is working for you. Don't do it then. I'm absolutely not asking you to do any of those things. I'm just giving you some suggestions. I'm not a native English speaker, as you probably already know. My English is quite... I'm quite good in English, but the accent is not. So that is the thing. But the exercise I had in mind, I'm gonna check once so I will say it correctly. Yeah, this is something I'm also going to be working on. So for the next 2 weeks at least, until the next podcast, I will also update you on this. I am going to try to, after every week, or maybe after every day, I'm gonna write down what I got done. The reason for this, I'm gonna be very tough on myself, especially if the feeling that I'm not doing enough, especially with those half days that I'm trying out, or another way of working, you know. So I am writing down what I got done instead of what I still have to do. I really wanted you to try to do the same if you also struggle with maybe perfectionism or thinking it is never good enough. So just try to write down what you did get done instead of what you still have to do, and see all the things that you already got done. It might even be only making your bed in the morning. That is amazing if you did that. Just write it down. Having lunch if you normally do not have lunch. Write it down. Drank a lot of water. Write it down. It can also be more business related or work related or all those things. Just put everything you've done in a list. And I can already guarantee you that you feel way better looking at it like that instead of all the things you still need to do. So good exercise for these 2 weeks. And I also will check in on this after 2 weeks for myself. And I really wanted to know from you if this is something you're interested in, if this is a part of the series that you like, and if you're also going to try it. So let me know below, or send me a message, as I already said before, I think, or maybe I didn't, but I'm always open to talk. You can find me on Instagram. I will link it below. You can always send me a DM. I have a few people that I regularly talk with, just casually. It's a lot of fun. People that I got to know through Instagram actually. So if you want to talk about something, ask me something, just tell your story or anything, you can always talk to me. So just so you know. Okay, that's the part for mental health. Then a little bit more also personal. I also want to incorporate the watching. I also want to incorporate the watching, listening and reading part, because I am a big movies and series fan, like absolutely. I study creative business, which is a business study on media. So we even made a short film during my studies. We made a game show. I'm like a really big movies and series fan. At the moment we are just gonna look down a little bit because I know that I will forget things. I'm really trying to slow down with speaking. I'm so sorry, I speak so fast. at the moment, we just finished Threadstone. It is on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you heard about it. It's a show which is part of the Born series. So Born Identity, Born Ultimatum. I don't know, I think you know what I mean. And this is like the part that happens before all those movies. It was a fun series. My mom watched it and she was like, oh, you need to watch it. So we watched it. We like I really like, I like everything except horror. I think, or maybe art house is maybe not always my kind of taste. But comedy, romance, science fiction. I was a really big science fiction fan. Fantasy. A lot of things, but no horror. I cannot handle it at all. Oh, like last night, like not this night, but the night before, I had 3 nightmares in one night. It wasn't fun. So if I watch anything too scary, I will dream about it for a few weeks. For sure. So I don't do those things. But Threadstone can give you a little bit of info about the series itself. So it is about the KGB and CIA. And they have like this secret operation called Stiletto 6, where agents... Can I already tell too much? Okay, a little bit maybe. Where there are agents who don't know that they are agents. Not gonna tell you too much. If this is something you're interested in, watch it. It's on... Is it on Prime? Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. They have 1 season out. We watched the whole season in I think a week and a half or something. It's like 10 episodes, not that much. Yeah, it was fun. Nothing major. Just fun. Fun action. The action scenes were quite good. That was really nice. We are also watching House of the Dragon. I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest. We watched Game of Thrones and loved it. Absolutely did. The ending, okay, it could be better. We all know this by now. But I was really enthusiastic for the series. And the first few episodes, I absolutely loved it. With the young Rhaenyra. But from the moment they changed it to like a 10-year jump in the future, I just had that. I didn't know it was happening also. I wasn't prepared. And I just had that other actors in mind, and now it was another one. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, to be honest. I think there are some very good scenes. So I don't know if you already watched last episode. I'm not gonna tell too much. But there was a scene with the king. It was great. Watch it if you haven't watched it yet. We are up to date. I've been watching like all the episodes now. Yeah, I'm just not the biggest fan, to be honest. I love the part with the dragons, that they are still in there, but I think it's the switching of the actors most of the time. I just really had that one Rhaenyra in mind, and now it was a different one, and I just have a bit of a hard time switching, you know. So I think that might be it. Oh, we also finished another series, which was really cool, which was non-fiction. Street Food USA. It's on Netflix. Oh yeah, of course. House of Dragon is on HBO Max, by the way. For us in the Netherlands. I don't know how it works in other parts of the world, to be honest. But Street Food USA. Such a fun show. It is about street food, as you can already probably tell. And they go through all kinds of different cities or states. A few of them are Portland, New York, New Orleans. They go to Hawaii even. They go to Hawaii. Such cool episodes. I really love learning about other cultures, and this series really shows how other cultures can, how do you say it, influence like the food in the city. And there's a lot of history in it and a lot of amazing people that they interviewed. Also the series is like really nicely done. I absolutely will like it, love it. Very tastefully done. And also very interesting. You don't really lose attention. So we are guilty of eating on the couch for dinner most of the nights. And we like to watch something on TV. So this is one of those shows that we have been watching during dinner. I can really recommend it. We finished it last night, I think, or the night before. We do quite a lot of series watching in the evening. Watching series and knitting. So Netflix, knitting. Absolutely recommended. Reading. I am a big reader. I've always read quite a lot of books. When I was younger, I had like a lot of plushies in bed, pillows, but also books. I had like 15 books in my one person's bed when I was like 7 or 10 years old or something, in that age range. But I actually haven't read that much during the rest of my life. So every summer vacation I would read like 6 books, something like that, when I was on vacation. But it was mostly the only time that I really could concentrate on a book. And I think since the last year, maybe a little bit longer, I've picked it up again. So there was a little bit of a while back when I really read a lot, but now I'm reading a lot again, so I'm really loving it. I am at the moment reading The Silent Patient. I have like 40 more pages to go and then it's done. I think it's a bit overhyped, to be honest. I liked it, but I was like, yeah, I would like rate it 3 stars in Goodreads, you know? So fun, nothing, like if I think about the book again a year after now, I probably wouldn't remember it. Something like that. Oh, my tea is getting cold. It's like the big cup keeps it warm quite long, but it's now getting a little bit cold. But yeah, The Silent Patient, a bit overhyped. Was fun to read, but it took me quite a long time to get into it. For reading, I always also read quite a lot of different things. So I do read thrillers, so I don't watch horror and those kind of things. But I am able to read a bit more scary books, to say it like that. So I just read Verity. Oh my god. Okay, it's not a horror, absolutely not. But oh, I was hooked. I read that book so fast, like in a day and a half or something. It was so good. If you're into that, if you're like the suspense thriller, you know, read that one. So I thought, okay, do The Silent Patient after. Didn't live up to the hype for me, honestly, to be honest. But maybe something really crazy happens in the last 40 pages. I'm not sure. I'm also reading another series for a little while already. So I started this summer vacation because I read the other series by the same author. I will just tell you a little bit what it is. But last summer vacation I was like hooked. That was the series that got me back into reading. What I'm reading right now is Turn of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And you probably already know which the other series is, because that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. It was amazing. I think there are still books coming, so I'm really enthusiastic for those ones. But I read that last summer and I blasted through it. Like I had days, I was reading on my iPad back then. I now have an e-reader. I had days where I was reading 8 hours on vacation. Because it tracks time, and a few days I saw that it was 8 hours, almost like continuously. So it was a good show. It's a good series. I mean, spicy also. So if you know, they say it's young adult, but to be honest, I think it's more an adult book because it's really graphic. I didn't expect that. I was like, sometimes as I was reading it, I was like, is this like a normal book, or is this some adult thing? But that is something good to know before you start. So read a little bit about it before you start the series. This series, Throne of Glass, is not spicy, so it could be a young adult series. Still loving it though. I love the way the characters are built, and this is also something I find really interesting because of my studies of character building, world building. It's really interesting. It's so fun. I'm not gonna tell too much about it because if you want to read it, it's a fantasy series about a very strong female character. And she goes through a lot of different things in quite a short amount of time. Can absolutely recommend it. I am at book Queen of Shadows, and I think that might be book 5 I'm reading. Not 100% sure. I think I have 3 more books to go after this one. I'm gonna tend and read 2 of them together, and then the final one. And that's also the end of the series, because the series is already quite a little bit older. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. Listening. I'm not listening to any podcast at the moment. I'm not the biggest podcast person, I think. I haven't found the ones that I really find interesting. I listen to some podcasts occasionally, some now and then. My boyfriend had a podcast, for example. Listen to that one. But I am, if I'm going to into listening, I am listening to the album from Beyonce, Renaissance, like on repeat, like almost every single day when I'm traveling. When I'm traveling, I read and also listen to music most of the times. Sometimes I put like a reading playlist on. I also really like that when I'm reading, so it's not that distracting. But yeah, Beyonce. I think Beyonce is like the kind of artist that I listen if I want to be hyped up, you know? So like feel confident in my body and like feel empowered, and that's when I listen to Beyonce. And a few of the songs of the album, I wrote it down because I cannot remember. I'm like very bad at names and like titles and things. So faces I'm good at, but names is horrible. Two of the songs that I love at the moment is Cuff It. I think a lot of you will know, and I can still read listening to it on repeat, to be honest. Still probably won't be that way for longer, because if I listen to it too much I will get bored with it a little bit, but I'm still loving it. And Plastic Off the Sofa is also one that I'm really loving. I love the lyrics of it too. Just a really nice song. Yeah, so that's what I'm listening to at the moment. I think we're almost through it actually. This one is quite cold. Personal things, life updates, nothing major at the moment. I got some beautiful fall flowers from my boyfriend this week. I have them here. I can show it to you. Look at that. I think, oh, they smell quite nice. They are so pretty. Like a beautiful fall bouquet. Some greens and oranges and pinks. Yeah. Oh, that's heavy. And I think that's it. So we've talked about what I'm working on. The Facebook group. Don't forget the Facebook group. You can still apply down here. Oh, it will be open, by the way, forever. So it's not, or forever. Just, it will be open. There's no time limit to apply. Just know that if you're very early, there might not be a lot of people in the group yet. That's okay. We can make it fun with like a few people still. So back to it. Do you know how? Do you get how easily distracted I am? What was I saying? Oh my god, it's horrible. We've talked about what I'm working on, the Facebook group, not true. We talked about finished objects, the Facebook group, what I'm working on, acquisitions, mental health, and reading, listening, watching, and some personal things. So yeah. I think that might be a good setup. As it is the first time, I've maybe changed some things. Let me know if there are things that I'm really missing that you really want to see in a podcast episode. Because I think I will keep this setup for the next episodes. If there are no different things you would want to see incorporated. Maybe you want to have more explanation on the things that I'm working on or anything like that. Just let me know. But that's it. I found it fun. My camera is dying, I think. It started going red, so I'm gonna end it here. Okay, I wasn't fast enough. I said I wanted to end it here. I love talking with you like this. I really like hearing back from you. So what you're working on, things that happen in your life at the moment, anything. I always love to talk with other people, like a big talker and connector. So I really like that. You'll see another podcast in about 2 weeks, but I will be posting weekly videos on here. So I have something planned for next week already, which I think is really fun. Maybe it will go up a little bit earlier already. I am still looking to some kind of planning or posting schedule. I'm not too stuck on anything, to be honest. So yeah, that's it. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time. So I love that you were here, and until the next one. Bye!